Comparing all the food kit boxes, over the past few weeks we've been ordering from HelloFresh, Prep Kitchen, Gousto and Green Chef, and I just wanted to give my overall thoughts and opinions on all the boxes. To start off, they all tasted great. My one thing I will say about Green Chef specifically was that it didn't seem as fresh. The veggies and stuff, we only got 3 meals from the Green Chef one. I'll come on to that later. And a lot of the veg went off quite quick. Disappointed about, because obviously the whole point is you're meant to be able to get it for the whole week if you want to. I was using it as quick as I could, so why wasn't it as fresh? Prep Kitchen I found really, really good. If you're more on the go and stuff, obviously I didn't realise at the time when I actually ordered it that it was actually ready meals. I didn't really think it through and didn't read it properly. They all tasted really, really nice, and I would eat it again, but I wouldn't like choose to subscribe to it again because it is essentially just ready meals. Gousto was really nice. The only thing with Gousto, I found that maybe it depended week to week, but obviously we only did it for 1 week and then I cancelled it. The menu choices weren't like jumping out at me as much. There wasn't as much variety as I would have liked, which is why I probably wouldn't use those again. Overall, I definitely prefer HelloFresh. None of this is sponsored, by the way. I'm not getting paid to say anything. I do prefer HelloFresh. I think the recipes tasted nicer. They were a lot probably quicker to do and easier to do. A lot more variety. And some of the HelloFresh recipes I've actually kept the recipe cards for, so we can actually remake them without needing the subscription moving forward and stuff. It is so bright, so look how blue my eyes look. In general, comparing them all together, they're very similar price points and the discounts they offer you for the first like few boxes. However, Green Chef, which is why we only went for 3, Green Chef I found to be way more pricey than the other ones, when essentially it's the same sort of things you're getting. Like you're getting the meat, you're getting the veg and everything, you're getting all the pre-portioned spices, herbs, all that kind of thing. So I definitely wouldn't subscribe to them again. Also, one thing I did note that I found quite interesting, which is probably the same with most things like, you know, from the supermarket as well. Mine is Prep Kitchen. Prep Kitchen doesn't count in this because, as I say, it was a ready meal kit. All of the food from HelloFresh, Gousto and Green Chef, all of their main packaging, obviously it's just had their own brand on it, but the actual things you were getting, like the meat and all like the packets of like rice, seasonings, all that kind of thing, were all clearly from the same warehouse, wherever it comes from. I found quite interesting that they're all charging different price points. Obviously there's got to be competition, I get that, but it's just meant to bear in mind, because it doesn't necessarily mean that the more expensive one is the better one. I think out of all of them, HelloFresh, out of the ones that are the actual meal kits, HelloFresh I think is actually the cheapest, and that is the one I prefer, the recipes options. So yeah, as I say, it's something to bear in mind, but obviously we know that works with the supermarkets as well. Like you can buy a branded, I don't know, Weetabix and go and get their own brand version, and it's exactly the same. So to pick one and you don't know which one to go for, but they all do come from the same food source almost. So yeah, hope that helps.